Hey everybody, it's your girl Tanya with AuthenticallyTJB, and I'm sitting here at work and I am taking a few minute mental break. And as I was sitting here, because I'll be going to lunch soon, I'm like, you know what? Let me find out what's the pros and cons of spending cash and using a card, which could be simple, but I wanted to know anyway. So before we dive into it, I want to say welcome back to my channel. Thank you for the A1 day ones. Thank you for the new subscribers. And thank you for those who are going to subscribe but don't know it's after they watch this video. Welcome to the fam. So before we get into it, don't forget to hit that like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on a video. Let's get into it. Alrighty, guys. I have a question. Have you ever checked your bank account and thought, what in the world did I buy that for? I spent that much. When did I buy that? Why did I buy that? Nah. Mm-mm. Or maybe you're someone who only spends what you physically have in your wallet. I'll do both. I'm going to tell you, I'll do both. I will do both. But today, what I want to talk about is cash versus plastic, debit cards, credit cards, you name it, all of it. Apple Pay, Afterpay, Klarna, all that stuff. Um, we're going to talk the pros and the cons, the psychology behind how we spend and how we choose which option is best for us. My financial life. Disclaimer, I am not a financial guru. This is only coming from research that I did for myself, and it was interesting, not that I'd share it with you. So let's get started. So, what is the psychology of spending? And just so you know, I have notes because I like to write notes down. So, I'm going to be looking back and forth. So before we even compare cash to plastic, we need to know about how the brain works. You know that thing in here, the brain, because the brain creates emotional friction, and when you physically see the money leave your hands, you're like, mm. Plastic, on the other hand, it removes that pain because you're just swiping, so you're not seeing that cash leave your hand. Um, you know, the swiping doesn't even feel real. Like I said, like giving that cash away, especially with mobile payments. So right away, cash and plastic, they don't just change how we pay, they change how we spend. Think about it. They don't change how we pay, but they change how we spend. So using cash. Cash will make you more aware, right? When you have $100 and turn it into 20, it's obvious you spent money. How many times have you had that $50 bill or that $100 bill? I know I haven't said, I hate to break this because the minute I break it, I'm going to be spending. And that awareness alone helps people do unnecessary spending. Cash, though, it will help you stick to a budget. Um, But there with cash, there's no reward to credit building. So it's a caveat. You got to think, do you want to save more or do you want to get the cash back rewards and build your credit? So the smartest option, they say, is to use both. Cash for everyday spending and budgeting, and plastic for bills, emergencies, and rewards, as long as you pay it off in full. So we're going to see about that. Now, see, cash, it works perfectly with envelope budgeting, weekly allowances, and fixed spending categories. So once that category is spent, that's it. No more till you redo your budget. So cash, it prevents debt. We all know that because you're spending what you have. So it means no interest, no late fees, and no minimum payments. You can't spend money you don't have, and that's so powerful, right? Cash is great for bad spending habits. So if you're one with that, suffers from impulse buying, cash can act like that speed bump. When you go over that bump, that cash could be that speed bump. It forces us to pause and think. Um, Now, the only con with cash can be lost or stolen. Yes, it can. Um, if someone steals your cash, there's no 800 number we could call. We can't put a stop on that. Like it's gone. There's no rewards. There's no cash back. There's no points, and there's no travel miles. There's just none of that. When you're using cash. Um, and there are benefits, that we can miss out on over time. Like especially if you're a frequent flyer, you can use those points. And then cards are not um, well, cash is, like you can't pay rent in cash, can't pay utilities, subscriptions, or online shopping with cash, and that's inconvenient or impossible, of course. And it can be harder to track unless you have a little notebook with you, and as soon as you spend it, you track it. Or when you get your receipt, you write it down, you put your receipt in your wallet, then you take it home and you fill out your tracker. So let's talk about using plastic. What are the pros of using plastic? Well, it's convenient. You can swipe, tap, and click, even from your phone now. This got so good. You can pay bills, you can shop online, and it's so much easier to travel. Like a lot of people say they don't take cash anymore when they go travel. So I hear a lot of people say they just don't use cash anymore. You get rewards and benefits. A lot of credit cards offer 1 to 5% cash back. They offer travel points, purchase protection, extended warranties. If used correctly, cards can literally pay you to spend, but you have to use it correctly. Then there's this thing called security and fraud protection. If your card is lost or stolen, you can lock it instantly, you can dispute charges, and most importantly, you can get your money back. That's always a good thing. That protection alone is pretty huge. What do you think? Then you can build credit. You could have went through a situation where you had no credit, you had bad credit, but you're trying to build your credit back up. You can raise your credit score. It'll give you better loan rates, and you can qualify for apartments or mortgages. But again, we have to spend responsibly. So using plastic, the cons of using plastic. Think about it. Overspending is easy. How many times do you see like your credit card company see that you've been paying the minimum, and they're like, okay, she's going to shop. She's going to shop. So they're going to give you that $100 increase or that $500 increase just to keep you spending. Because you know what? Because the plastic doesn't feel like money. It's easy to say, oh, I'll worry about it later. And later turns into debt, and debt turns into stress. Mm. Now, I'm going to tell you, interest, it can destroy our finances, right? Credit card interest can be anywhere between 20 to 30% or more, even more. A small balance, it could turn into years of payments. Fees, those little thing called fees, they add up. Late fee, annual fees, overdraft fees, all silent money drains. Yeah. Then it's a false sense of wealth. Having available credit, it doesn't mean that we're rich. It just means we can borrow. That's all it means. So let's talk about some real life scenarios, right? Let's make this real. One, we're grocery shopping, using cash. So using cash, we're more likely to skip impulse buying or impulse items. But using debit or credit, we're going to grab that extra snack without even noticing because we're like, it's on a credit card. I got the money for it. Emergencies. Cash might not be accepted, but plastic can save you at hotels, hospitals, and rentals. Think about it. They don't want cash, they want that plastic. Traveling. When we're traveling, yes, they say cards are safer and easier, but still having a little bit of cash is smart. So let's try this, the smart hybrid strategy, right? The best approach is not choosing one, it's choosing to use both. So what we would do is use cash for your daily spending, entertainment, food, and your personal budget. Whereas you would use your plastic for your bills and your travel and your emergencies and your rewards because it's going to be paid off monthly. Just think about it. But remember the number one rule. This is the number one rule. Never carry a balance if you can avoid it. So, with that, they say if you can't pay it back, there's no need to use it. Final thoughts. Hmm. With cash, it's going to teach us discipline, I hope. Plastic, it offers convenience. It's so, like I said, it's so convenient. Yesterday, I forgot my purse at work and I had to go to the hardware store to buy something. Everything was in my office. Thankfully, it was locked up. My cash was in there that I wanted to use, but all I had to do was tap Apple Pay, and that was it. So, when we understand how each of these affect our behavior, we can control our money more instead of letting it control us. So, let's do this. We're going to call it action. So, let me know in the comments below, what are you? Are you team cash, team plastic, or team both? I'm going to say right now, I'm team cash because although we need that plastic to do rentals, hotels, traveling, think about it now. Your debit card has Visa, MasterCard on there. So the caveat is you keep the money in there and you'll have it and you won't have to worry about paying back. Yeah, those rewards good. It is. But as for me and my budget, I can only say for me, I don't want to fall into that trap. But anyway, drop a comment below, like the video if this helped you in any type of way, and subscribe for more tips and life updates. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.